This is the Aftermarket Radio Network. It's your weekly Blitz with Chris, keeping you in the game.
Hey, hello everybody. I hope you've gotten your workout in already this morning and or you're working out now and plan on having a great day. I know I am. Coach Chris Cotton here from AutoFix-Auto Shop Coaching, where we work hard to support your financial success. Quick reminder, as you get into today's episode, you may know someone in your network who can benefit from today's topic. If so, please take time to share personally or through your social network. Also, if you have an idea for a show topic or just want to talk shop, feel free to get with me at chris@autofixsos.com. Hey, before we get started, though, with episode 54, Catching Up with Chris, I'd like to take a quick second to give a shout out and thank our sponsor, AutoLeap. Your auto repair business may not be as successful as you want, and a common reason why is because you don't have the right systems in place. This is why I need to tell you about AutoLeap. AutoLeap is a game-changing, easy-to-use, all-in-one shop management software. Many AutoLeap customers have doubled revenue in their first 10 months and reduced admin work by 10-plus hours a week. Going from your current software to AutoLeap is like changing from a flip phone to a smartphone. Check them out at www.autoleap.com to see for yourself. We'll also put a link in the show notes for everybody. Oh my gosh, what a year. Like 2022 has started out unbelievable. I know I've got some notes here in front of me, but I don't even know where to start. Like, it's also the end of the first quarter. As I'm recording this, and you're going to hear it in a couple of weeks, it's going to be April the 11th, I think, when this comes out. So we'll finish the first quarter of the year. We'll be making our first quarter profit disbursements for my clients. It's really been, wow, amazing. And we've been so busy. The Cotton family, or at least Kimberly and myself, because now she travels with me all the time since Piper is in college full time in her second semester. I can't even believe it. We've already been to Orlando once in February, and then we just got back yesterday from the WorldPac STX show. After we left Orlando the first time in February, we drove back to Texas and then went from this part of Texas to, Big Bend National Park on our way out to Tucson. If you've never been to Big Bend National Park, I highly recommend it. It's a great national park. This time of year, though, starting in April, they're going to get into the hundreds. So really, the time to go there is in the fall and early spring. They shut a lot of the park down in April because it's just too hot later in the year for people to get in and go. Great hiking, great areas, and it's really neat because you're on the border with Mexico. And there's a place that we went. I want to say it's Boquillas. I probably butchered the name, but so Boquillas is in Mexico right across the border, but you can drive up and there's a hiking trail there. And basically this hiking trail takes you right along the Rio Grande, but then you can look across, and as long as you got your passport with you and you check in, you can walk through the water. The water's like mid-calf deep on me, and walk across the border and go into Boquillas and check it out. There's also things you can do, like people will come across the river and take you across on horseback if you want to, or they'll even send the boat across for $5, I think, and do the boat. It was just really interesting to see how that part of the border cooperates with each other. But they've also got a lot of, I'm not going to call them shops, just places by the side of the road, by the side of the trail, where they have all their stuff, like all the handmade in Mexico things that they make and that they would be selling in the village. They just have it on the American side. They have a little pricing on there everywhere. It's just an honor system. You just put your money in the jar or the creamer can or whatever. Is pretty interesting, though. I'm sure we were being watched the whole time, but about 2 or 3 times a day, somebody rides across on horseback and goes through and then collects all the money from that. I thought it was really interesting. I looked down in there to see how much money people put in there. It was full of 20s. Like there's probably $200-$300 in 20s in there. And that was just at one of those stations. There was probably 8 or 10. They even had a little bag of tamales. It's funny. They had rocks on the side of the trail that said tamales with the arrow pointing this way. And you just go up, and when you got there, you just put your money in the bag and then grabbed your dozen tamales and took off. For those of you that have gone through Texas and everything, it's funny. It was in a Buc-ee's cooler people outside of Texas won't know what Buc-ee's is, but if you know what Buc-ee's is and everything, and you're hearing this on the Facebook page, throw us a comment in there where your favorite Buc-ee's is. So that was really, really interesting. It was windy and hot, even in February when we were there. The day we hiked, it was like 80 degrees in the morning. And I told Kimberly, I said, if this was another 5 degrees, I wouldn't be doing this. Like, no way. Like, it's doable, but it's unbearable. So that was a great part of our February. Just as far as our driving goes, we went to Orlando. We came back to Texas, back out to Big Bend. We drove to Tucson. Had a great Service Center Scholars meeting in Tucson. If you're into the European repair and you're looking for a peer group or 20 group, please shoot me a message. They're looking for a couple more members. We can put you in that group. We also did a shop visit for Bart Lind, the owner of Group 1 Motorworks, while we were there. He has a phenomenal shop in the Tucson area. Then from there, we drove all the way back through to Dallas, and then back home in Rockport where we're staying now. And then we were there a week and then turned around and drove up to get Piper at college, and then Colorado for spring break, and then back through to drop her off and back. And then we just went to Orlando last week and just got back. So almost 8,000 miles driven in a month since we left in February and then came into March. And it could be a little bit over that, but that's pretty close. And that's just so far. We also did another shop visit in Albuquerque to Hans Whitler number 2. I have a great client there. His name's Andreas. He has an awesome shop. Also was able to work in a shop visit to your auto shop in Plano, Texas. I say Dallas, but it was actually in Plano. Really, all in all, we've had a busy first start to the year, and it doesn't look like it's going to slack up any at all. April is going to be fairly busy. We're just here and there and moving all around. Also, one of the things that I wanted to update everybody on earlier in a podcast, I talked about donating and donations, and for accountability's sake, I wanted to have a follow up. We said we were going to donate to a charity every month, and if you get out there and look at all, you notice that there's plenty of charities to donate to. And so there's no shortage. So in January, we donated to the Texas Heat chapter. That's something that Piper really likes and believes in. We waited till February, and I guess it's a good thing that we did. I don't know, till late in February. For our February donation, we donated to the International Red Cross for relief in the Ukraine. March was, I don't know why I never thought of this one, but Kimberly's like, hey, why don't we donate to the Micro Works Foundation? So that's what we did for March. I encourage you to stay in touch and listen and see what we do moving on out from there. As you know, Kimberly and I did go to WorldPac. What an awesome event. And really all these events are awesome, right? Like, no matter what one you go to, they're really, really great events. Anytime you can get your shop out to mingle with other shop owners, or yourself to mingle with other shop owners and learn things about the industry, learn things about what you're doing and how you're going from there moving forward, it's just amazing. Like, whether it's WorldPac, ASTE, those other things around the country, make sure you spend those dollars and get out and see. I taught a class on Saturday. So many great questions. It was a 4-hour class. We could have just asked and answered questions probably for another 2 hours, if not 4. The shop owners were doing great things. Very interesting to see what everybody's labor rate was. And then I also asked the question, what was your labor rate 10 years ago? And honestly, I was kind of impressed on what some of the answers were. There were a lot of 80s and high 70s and things like that 10 years ago. And I think out of the whole class of 60 people, I think the lowest one in the group was about 115. So that was really good. And that was one of those that had been like 70 something 10 years ago. But there were some in there that were 80 10 years ago, and they've doubled. They're like in the 160s, 170s. I think that's amazing. And what a great group. Great questions. I think I did a pretty good class. We'll see how the surveys come back, but everybody was engaged. Everybody was, I believe, having fun. Nobody fell asleep, so that's good. And just a great thing. But just to go back and reiterate, everybody should be going out to some sort of an event and building and growing. A lot of great information too from the meeting about where the aftermarket's headed, some numbers that we're going to have going through. If you follow us on the AutoFix-Auto Shop Coaching Facebook page, we already started sharing some of those infographics out there. What a great time. One of the other projects that I've talked about it a little bit, and some people know, and this thing is snowballing. So if you're interested in what I'm about to talk about, this is ServiceUP Repair Cloud. It's a startup company that's in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I got involved with them to help with their service advisor training and to help be the bridge between that company and auto repair shop owners. We're now expanding full on into the Phoenix area. If you're in Phoenix or some of the surrounding areas and you're interested in this program or platform, please email me or send me some information or ask for some information and I can get you set up. We're hiring drivers in that area now, and we're going to start putting vehicles in shops that we've signed up mid-April. So if you're in the Phoenix area and you're looking for more business, we can send it your way. The model that we have for you is completely free to you, doesn't cost you a penny, and we do all the service advisor work. So if you're interested in that, please reach out. We've also got a ton of other big things working with that and are looking forward to move that forward. And, I guess the other big thing is just the podcast itself. I kind of I forget about that, but I have great people all the time now email me, send in a request for more information, setting up appointments, but they're all coming from the podcast. Like just all you great shop owners out there that are listening. I think it's absolutely amazing. We're over a year. This is episode 54 now. And just to think that this has grown to what it is, like we're ranking in New Zealand as a business management. And I think we're finally actually breaking in to the American market a little bit, where we're ranking some as far as business management podcast goes from some of the things I've seen. But we have listeners from all over the world. And that's another amazing thing. I guess sometimes I don't think people are interested in what I have to say or who I am or anything like that. But actually, there are people out there that actually listen, actually love it, and continue to listen. We continue our sponsorship with AutoLeap. That's another great thing that's happened. They're going to sponsor us for the rest of the year and stay out there. If you're looking for a great point of sale system, reach out to them or reach out to me and say, hey, love to know more about that. Again, 54 episodes. That's really amazing. I never thought, I guess sometimes I listen to other people's podcasts and you listen for like 10 episodes and then it quits and then that's it. And there's nothing more. To think that I've done, 54 of these and we're moving through and are going to do enough to finish out the year. And there's no reason for us to stop, to keep going. Originally, I just did it to share with my clients, but I heard from a great shop owner and his wife earlier today. They're having struggles and they don't know where to go next. And they listened to the podcast, listened to all of them, and they reached out to me, and they're going to do amazing things. The big thing is they didn't know what they didn't know, and so now they're hearing it. So honestly, I'm extremely humble to think that anybody cares what I have to say. So I think that's great. I think it's amazing. Hopefully I continue to keep giving you great information that you want to listen to and hear, and that helps you and makes you better. That's what it's all about, right? One of the other things that I talked about earlier in the year is just staying positive, being positive. Don't get into a negative mindset. Make sure that you're pushing yourself forward. One of the things, like at the close of this, I say, make sure to rise and grind. I was listening to somebody else's podcast the other day, and I thought about, what if we wake up and we start, okay, it's time to rise and grind, but it's also time to grind positivity. So I want you to start thinking about that. Are you grinding positivity every day? once you feed into negativity and go down that road, it's hard to come back. So I for sure want to make sure that you are getting up every morning, doing great things, rising and grinding positivity. Okay, everybody? Thanks for taking time out of your busy day to listen, everybody. If you haven't found us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and followed us for free, then why not? Also, make sure to go and check out some of the other great podcast episodes on the Aftermarket Radio Network. And just as a quick aside, there's one that hasn't even hit the Aftermarket Radio Network yet, but it's coming soon. I sat down with Brian and Kim Walker from Shop Marketing Pros and did an episode with them. So look for that coming out. And also, as soon as we got done with that, we cut an episode for us here at the Weekly Blitz, and be on the lookout for that. I'm sure there's someone you care about who can benefit from the talk we had here today. Please feel free to share or forward this episode on to them. Again, this has been Coach Chris Cotton from AutoFix-Auto Shop Coaching. If you find yourself struggling in your auto repair business or have a feeling like you don't know what you don't know, but you're eager to learn and grow your business, then please feel free to reach out to me, Chris at AutoFixSOS.com, or give me a call, 940-400-1008. Time to get out and rise and grind, everybody, and also grind positivity. Have a great day, everyone.
You've been listening to the Weekly Blitz with Coach Chris Cotton on the AftermarketRadioNetwork.com. Follow Chris on your favorite podcast listening app. Let him know what you'd like him to cover. His email is in the show notes. Chris is all for advancing the aftermarket.